like this and this and this. Ain't no need to try to duplicate this script, cause if you do, you might trip and bust your lips off. Feel the fire, take it higher, drop the props and don't deny ya.
Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a long 2 weeks since my last upload. I apologize for that. Yikes. I just had a lot of teeth problems. School came up. Just a lot of things were just going on all at once. So I was trying to catch up with life before I started hopping onto the video. So without further ado, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how much you're liking the series, and let's get into the very first of its kind, a rhythm fighting game. This is right after the whole Parappa the Rapper kind of took over the world with fighting games. And that game, I mean not fighting game, rhythm games, Jesus. What that game is Bust a Groove. This game is near and dear to my heart. I've been playing it with my siblings for, at this point, what now, 20 years? It's such a great game. I can always, even getting the B-roll for this was super fun. I have so much B-roll of me just kind of forgetting that I was recording and just having a great time. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into the lore of Bust a Groove. So before we get into the, I guess you could say, nitty-gritty of the arcade, because this is kind of a bare bones kind of game, but it has a lot more to offer once you really dig deep into it. This was created by Enix Software. So, the Dragon Quest series, all the, our heavy hitting RPGs that on your SNES, Enix was one of the first creators of that. So even Final Fantasy and a lot of those games, it's not until later, a little while after the series was made, is where they combined with Square. So the early 2000s, or I say 2000, 2001, is when it was no longer just Enix, it became Square Enix, because Square and Enix came together. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but this was kind of one of their last games. And you could tell, it was inspired by, just the times of how music was just one of the greatest parts of the early 2000s, I say. And it really took into consideration, every character and how every character can represent a different facet of that music genre. And we'll go over that when I go over the characters. I'm not gonna, I do in this series normally, I don't go over every character. That would take forever, but learning how to really sit down and kind of just see what every character does is pretty awesome. Without further ado, the arcade is pretty much short. I believe it's 12 stages, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It's about 12 or 10 stages. I'll put the actual number on screen here, but you just going to the beat and the rhythm. It's very simple. You just play a rhythm game. It's like playing DDR and just kind of, mapping what you see on the screen. You have 2 bars essentially. So the first bar where you see circle, that's the easy one. But sometimes it'll be X is the hard one. So depending which route you take, you get more points for more stylistic points, more meter building, and you get to use your super faster. So at the top left and top right, you'll see these little smiley faces. They'll go gray when you can't use them, and that's usually during the single player aspect of it. Every player has the ability to kind of show off. So they give them basically a solo. So you can attack your opponent during that solo. But you can gain enough points to get that point back. Once used, it stops your opponent from being able to continue a combo. Because the longer the combo goes, the more essential meter building to lead to your special attack. So that's where the fighting game aspect comes into it, is being able to use your meter and get good meter gain while also kind of tricking your opponent as well. And you also have the ability to dodge it. So at certain points, you can actually dodge the attack if you know that they're going to use their super. So it becomes not only do you have to keep the rhythm of what's happening on screen, but you also have to learn to when to use your super, how to use your super, and make sure that you don't overuse it. So that's just basically the arcade mode, just really going from what you've been learning throughout the game and kind of just applying it to the stages, the different songs, the different tempos, and kind of just learning everybody's song. So I say the arcade mode is really fun, especially when you get to the final boss. They really kind of just switch it up on you really quickly, so it's really fun. So without further ado, let's kind of just go right into practice mode and characters. I'm kind of going to lump both of those two things together. So the practice mode in this game is actually really good. It has like a nice little way of teaching you how to keep the tempo and teaching you the basic mechanics of the game. So it's not like, you know, you have hitboxes and all this crazy stuff, but you do have the ability to see the tempo, because you don't see that during the arcade or during versus. So when you have a character, characters are basically the same within the game. So each tempo, most tempos are 1, 2, 3, and then fourth note would be the button. So you would do all the directionals during the 1, 2, 3, 4. It will always be the button. So that's kind of how I visualize it and how I learned to play. But it's definitely, how you say, it's basically like that. I would say, like, don't focus on anything else. Focus on making sure that, you know, each character has their ability to, you know, flourish. So hopping straight into it, because like I said, the what you call it is very simplistic. It's not really too crazy. You have the characters, and there's a lot of them. I believe there's like about 10 or 11 characters. Those 10 would be, you know, Kitty N, Hero, XYZ, and then you have like 4 unlockable characters. And they're pretty much the same. The only thing that really kind of separates them is their abilities in terms of like how they, like the timing of their attacks and their dance styles. So, and obviously their own stage music, because every character in the stage has a song. So every character has the ability to use a special move, follow there. And I guess you could say difficulty can kind of fly between the characters. I don't think so, but my brother does, so I don't really, he thinks like Shorty's easy compared to like Heat. So, you know, however you like seeing it, in my opinion, will work for you. So, you know, every character kind of represents a different, not only dance style, but kind of music genre. So you have characters like Heat, Ham, and I believe Hero, not Hero. What is his name? I get Ham. Did I say Ham? But there's like 3 characters that kind of similarly use hip hop, but their dance style is like hip hop funk or break dancing or just, you know, other things. You have characters who vogue. Robo Z, the final boss, he vogues. So it's really interesting to see how like they took influence, like Hero. Hero's basically like the guy that does all the what you call it. He does the, you know, late 60s, like I say, early 70s disco. He's like really, you know, in there dancing, doing his thing. And even his music is like a reference to Bee Gees and stuff like that. So you can hear like subtle references throughout the game. So I say this game is definitely a definite pickup. The other modes in the game are pretty much just a dance viewer and versus. So the game is very bare bones. It's in a sense of like there's not really much to do outside of just either playing against a computer or playing against you know, your friends. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's going to be a short one. I just kind of wanted to quickly talk about this. There's not really much going on with it. I do feel that this is a great game, and I hope that this inspires you to just pick it up, especially during the age of where gaming is kind of taking a small downhill. You know, creators aren't taking liberties of risk anymore. They're kind of just making games they know will sell, in a sense, instead of making games like this where it didn't sell well, but it still is very, very much loved within the community. So I won't be doing the part 2 to Buster Groove 2. So recently, I probably will be doing that in the future because I have another video that I'm prepping up soon. So I would probably have to get that done very soon and things of that nature. So without further ado, I'll give this game maybe 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 Heroes Dancing. And with that, make sure you stay in my X's, and peace. Catch you later.